My name's Peter Dunbavan and the book is called An Avid's Guide to 60s Songwriters. In the 60s it was a bit of a special time. There were some really excellent songwriters. This book is mainly about those who weren't writing for themselves. They weren't necessarily performers themselves, but the body of work was predominantly in the 60s. So there's quite a lot of writers who people aren't familiar with, but there's also the more well-known ones like David and Goffin King. I suppose my family had a record collection and my mother played music regularly, and I got fascinated by the songs of the time, Roger and Hammerstein, Irving Berlin, Cole Porter. So I was interested in those writers, but it was really in the 60s when I could afford to buy the records and I started seeing certain names under the songs, and I was fascinated by the links between the various writers. So I then decided that I would make a book which combined information in chart form as well as a mini biography of all the writers. So I ended up with 80 songwriters, and each chapter is devoted to each songwriter, and they've got detailed chart statistics and then a mini biography. So in part it's a reference book and it's also a narrative, very easily readable because I'm very easily read. I'm not a literary author as such, so you can read it, but it's more of a reference book. There's a fascination with the music from that era, so there's a much wider audience out there, and the music now, of course, with the digital age, young people can listen to all sorts of music. It's wide open, and if you think about the music at that time, you had what John Lennon called granny music. You know, we had The Sound of Music, we had Val Doonican, we had Engelbert, we had all that, nothing wrong with that. But then we also had psychedelia, Tamla Motown, folk music, rhythm and blues, it was everything. And I think the mid to late 60s was the creative peak. I certainly believe that the music of the 60s was so diverse and groundbreaking, and it created a template for everything that's gone since. It's been a labour of love and a lasting legacy, hopefully.